Hi, I'm Sunflower Blitz.
This is DJ Mia Maya.
I'm Ira Abba.
I'm Cupcake.
I'm Smooth Sailing.
This is Katiren.
I'm Nell Noinel.
MariaTheBean.
I'm Generican, and you're watching.
And you're watching.
And you are watching 21st Pilots Lounge.
21st Pilots Lounge.
21st Pilots Lounge.
21st Pilots Lounge.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, 21st Pilot. We are back for a third season of 21st Pilots Lounge. As you can see, I did a little bit of decorating here. We've actually graduated from the Top Gun Academy, and now we are in Cybertron. We're in cyberspace, or the Cybertronian Wars. For those of you who have not seen the announcement on Discord, one thing you don't know about me is that I am a hardcore Transformers fan. I've always been a fan since day one. One of the first cartoons I ever got into, one of the first franchises I ever got into, and decided, you know what? There are some jets in this franchise. You know, it's the 40th anniversary of the Transformers in America. It's Transformers Mania right now, so I thought, why not? You know, we've been doing the Top Gun thing for about 2 years. I'm still a big fan of the movie and all, but thought we could use a change. So here we are now, Autobot and Decepticon theme. Take your pick. Got some new emotes, got some new alerts. We got a lot of new everything. So yeah, that will answer your question about why things look a little bit different. Today we are going to be speaking with a returning guest. Today we have Miss MariaTheBean. She is coming back. We're going to catch up with her. We're going to see what she's been up to. She's been kind of a little sporadically streaming the last few months here. So we're going to see what she's been up to. She's been performing live lately, so we're going to ask her about that, ask her about any new music coming up, and if she's got anything else coming up. So please stick around, check out this little catch-up interview we got with Maria, and stay tuned. We are here with the lovely MariaTheBean. Everybody give it up for her. Woo! Maria, my dear, how have you been? Where have you been? And where are you? Please tell us everything.
Okay, well, to answer your questions in order, or maybe out of order, I don't know, I might spice it up.
Okay.
No, I'm actually at a friend's studio. I'm not at my own studio. I'm just out and about today, but I'm still in the same city, living in the same country as I was before. But I've been taking some time kind of away from the internet a little bit, going out, doing events, and traveling out of the country. I went to Colombia for a while and came back, and yeah, I'm in a band, so I've been playing a lot with them, doing shows and practicing, so I've had less time for internet stuff, so that's kind of where I've been and where I am.
Yeah, I mean, I've been following your Instagram stories, and you've just been killing it on stage, like in parking lot festivals and on like cafes.
Yeah, totally.
I remember the other day you posted you were playing in this cafe, and like there's like a wallpaper on the back that said, "More intimate than 90% of marriages." What place was that? Like what was that about?
Yeah, that's a place called Cafe Gravity. It actually has a few different locations. But now that you mention it, it does have a pretty fun background. Sometimes I just sit and read all the different ones. Like,
is it an intimate place? Like, is it, or is it just like a cafe? Or
it's a cafe. I think they're saying that because they have like live shows, and they're like, this is so nice and intimate. No, I guess, yeah, I think it is intimate. It's like I think most cafes are intimate in a sense. But yeah, it's a nice little place, and they do a lot of live shows and like jams and like all that kind of stuff. It's a lot of fun.
And you're fixing marriages at the same time. Guys, if you need to fix your marriage and go to a place, just check out Maria. She's there every week, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, awesome. Exactly. That's my new job, actually. My new job is just fixing marriages.
Oh, so you become a marriage counselor while you were gone as well. Look at you. Our first marriage counselor on the 21st Pilots Lounge. Well, awesome. Hey.
Yeah, for legal reasons, that's a joke, but
For legal reasons. Okay, we'll beep that
Yeah.
out.
I mean, what if the law comes after me and they're like, "Are you really a marriage counselor?" I'll have no way to prove it. So
That's true. That's true. I mean, you could just show them your marriage license. Well, not a marriage license, but marriage counselor license, right?
it's just like a paper with like crayons, and I just write it down with like my hand. Or it's like finger painted on. I'm like marriage.
Finger paint. Hey, it's creative. I bet you like the service worker would probably appreciate you doing that, and then
I
be
think they would.
get out of jail
And I
free
think-
card, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then I would also have a jail out of free card that I made myself as well.
Like you used to be in stage production. I remember before you were in theater.
Yeah, I was doing like theater productions, and they were mostly like university theater productions, so like very either like stuff that was written by like this like MFAs or like the playwrights, or stuff that is like Canadian and local and obscure stuff like that.
That's awesome. So performing music live, is this like your first time really getting out there this much, like out into the local scene? Have you been networking? Have you played any like huge gigs?
So I have been networking, and I've been playing mostly little gigs here and there. It is different. It is different than like doing live shows, mostly because I was doing kind of acting mostly in those shows, and I really love performing live, like singing live. That's probably my favorite thing to do aside from like writing music, is like performing for a live audience. It's so much fun. And I'm really excited about getting so much experience, because it makes the whole thing that much funner. Personally, I haven't played any huge gigs as a solo, but I am in a band called Shy Friend, where I do backup vocals and keys. And Shy Friend is getting pretty big, and we're playing some festivals this summer. So
Really?
that'll be pretty fun. That'll be awesome.
Tell us, how did you join Shy Friend, or were you part of the formation of the band, or like tell us about Shy Friend?
Yeah. So Shy Friend is like an alternative music band, kind of like indie pop, indie rock. Sometimes there's like jazzy elements and stuff. I met the front of the band, which is Shy Friend. I met her at university, actually, and we became friends there. And then later on, when she started a band, she already had like a few people in the band, and then she called me in to do backup vocals. And then later on, I got my keyboard, so I started also playing keys. And sometimes I do like bits, like little comedy skits, like in the middle of shows. So yeah, that's how I got in, and that's what I do.
Do you bring Psyduck or Slowpoke with you when you're performing, or like just to add some aesthetic back there?
That would be fun. Actually, I have a toy phone, which in the newest promo picture that we're releasing, that we just posted on Instagram, you can see me holding it and like holding it to my ear. It's like one of those like 90s or like 80s toy phones that still has like a ringing thing in the middle. And that's fun. I use it in some songs, just like to ring it, and then sometimes I use it to like get phone calls and do skits and in the middle of shows. Yeah.
Really? So you incorporate acting into the shows. Do they like go along with the songs, or are they just completely random, or
They're
do
literally completely right. Like, there's one where I literally stopped the band from playing. I'm like, hey, we have to stop playing right now. I'm getting a phone call.
Have you? I don't know if you ever thought of this, but you could probably like incorporate cinematics into your shows, like have them go along
Maybe
with like
yeah.
maybe bring on another actor, actress, or someone else in the band, interact with them, or like just kind of act out what's gonna. Hey, have you ever thought of that? Or
Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe not. There's always we're thinking of bringing the audience into some of these interactions and trying out some improv stuff.
you could do magic. You could do a magic trick, you could, and then go into the next
Yeah,
song.
If I could do magic, I would, but all I can do is juggle lemons. So,
Have you juggled on stage yet?
well, not with the band, but I've juggled on a stage before. Yeah. I'm
Okay.
not that good at it, but that's what makes it funny. You know, that's what makes it comedic.
So are you working on any new music at all?
I am. I'm working on lots of new music. Yeah, so right now I'm working on a couple of different things. I'm working on an EP and on an album, sort of simultaneously. And
Oh, really?
yes, and the hope is to release the EP first and then the album eventually. So right now I'm just kind of I'm kind of gathering funds to like get it produced and recorded because it's all written at this point, the EP. I still have to write a few more songs in the album, but that's going pretty well, so I'm not worried about that. I did write a grant, so everybody cross their fingers for me that I get the big government funding for my music.
So how does that work? Like, do you just apply for it and tell them what you're
You-
doing
yeah.
with it, or?
Yeah, you apply for it. You make up the whole project. You have to like fill out a bunch of categories like what is your what's your project, what's your artistic impact, what's your community impact, what's your budget, and you have to fill out pretty detailed stuff. You have to get quotes from people as like proof. So, yeah. And the organization that I submitted the grant to, there's like a 30% rate of acceptance, which is higher than other places. So,
Really?
so yeah, you know.
I would assume that like maybe the incentive for like the city would be maybe attract tourism. Like what could benefit them? What is in it for them to give you this money to do this? Like maybe
Yeah, totally.
bring economical impact into the city that you're in. Like, I guess,
Yeah.
is that what that is? Do you know? Or
Yeah, I think there's a few different factors to what it is. And I think part of it is building the culture, right? Usually the bigger the city, the more music, and entertainment pops up. And then eventually that becomes, a financial venture, but it's also cultural. Like places become famous for their music or their music artists. So it can bring people, it can bring in money, it can enhance and like enrich cultures, stuff like that.
cultural exchange seems like.
Yeah.
Maria, the cultural exchangeist, exchange specialist.
Changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're bringing cultures
good.
together to Canadian culture nonetheless. I mean, like, what is
Yeah.
true Canadian culture? Is usually like maple syrup or hockey.
Maple syrup, hockey, poutine.
Poutine. Yes, we talked about poutine
Yeah.
last time.
We did?
Or Tim Hortons, something like that.
Also valid, yeah.
What is your current status with streaming right now? Given that you said
Yeah.
earlier you're trying to do the IRL thing and get out more, like yours
Yeah,
truly.
totally.
So tell us, what is your status with Twitch? Are you going to stream again soon, or what's going on with that?
Yeah, okay. So I'm taking a bit of a hiatus from Twitch at the moment. But I do want to get back into it. I'm not sure if I want to go back to doing the same thing I was doing before. I think that I got really burnt out with the way things were going, and maybe I want to try playing some games on stream instead of singing, which I know it's silly, but I feel like singing on stream, it feels a lot like practicing or singing at a wall. And I know there's viewers there, and I love them, I appreciate them, but it just burns me out a lot, so I think I might take a break from that for a while still. But when I get tired of it, and of like streaming constantly, and sitting constantly, and doing the same songs over and over again, it starts feeling like that. But that's just me. It's not everybody. Some people really enjoy it, and like no shame in that at all, honestly. It's just a me thing. I get burnt out so easily and so tired of things. I always need to jump on the next thing,
Mm-hmm.
on the next kind of fixation. And I get bored really easily, so I really have to change things up. I can't do the same thing over and over again, which is what I did with Twitch, and it was not good for me.
Oh, I can honestly
Yeah.
relate to that. Honestly, I'm all for people taking a break or, just moving on to something else. If you don't find it fun, it has to be fun,
Exactly. Yeah.
because if you feel like you're forcing yourself, did you feel like you were kind of forcing yourself at some point or?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like, I have to build an audience.
well, you definitely did. Here we are.
I did. And I like them a lot, and it's awesome. I think I might just take them on different journeys now.
What kind of video games do you play?
Yeah, well, I'm a big Stardew Valley fan and Animal Crossing fan. I also play Cookie Run Oven Break a lot. I feel like if I were to like play a game on Twitch, it would be that one because I can play that game for hours, probably days without stopping.
I remember I miss your baking streams as well. Have you been doing
Yeah.
any baking lately at all?
Lately, a little bit. Every now and then, I'll get into some baking.
Mhm.
And to be fair, even though I had baking streams, I was never really that much of a baker, and the baking streams actually got me more into baking. And most of the times that I did a baking stream, I was doing that thing for the first time.
Oh.
So that was part of the fun of it, is to see how it would turn out.
Whenever I see a friend leave Twitch for a while or forever even, and
Yeah.
they're going out there, they're performing, they're still doing what they love. It doesn't have to be
Yeah,
on here.
totally.
You can like live stream on another platform or post on TikTok or wherever. Just seeing you like continuing what you do best at is really awesome to see. So I'm really proud of you, Maria, for doing that.
Oh, thanks.
No problem. Do you have any new anime recommendations? Because I remember last time you recommended Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood
Okay. Yeah.
and a couple of Ghibli films. Has there been any new series as of late that has caught your eye that you would recommend?
I mean, there's so many, right? I could recommend JoJo's Bizarre Adventure for sure. Hunter x Hunter is pretty great. I don't know if I recommended that one last time. Free Ren. I loved Free Ren. It was super wholesome. Bochi the Rock for sure.
I remember one of the last times I saw you stream actually was around the holidays actually, I think, when you were doing those. You were doing like the streams where you had people like submit lines, like a live writing, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Those are fun. Yeah.
Like one of them was like a march, like for like a stream about the community, or like a song about the community.
Yeah. It was a Bean song.
The Bean song. So, what are the status of the songs you wrote with us? Like, have they evolved at all? Have they turned into anything, or are they still in your book?
Yeah, they're kind of just in my book. I mean, the bagel song was always pretty popular. The bean song was fun to write, but it never quite hit as hard as the bagel song did, which is fine. It happens. And yeah, they're kind of just in my book. I might do like a more like produced version of the bagel song and put it out there for the people who don't get, because if I stop streaming, they stop hearing the bagel song, which is a problem. So I might put it on my SoundCloud or something.
That's right. You do have a SoundCloud. Okay. But yeah, that'll be awesome if those become something one day. Like when you're out and about, performing or whatnot, networking, do you ever mention your Twitch? Like, do you ever talk about it?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's cool. So like, do you like, what do you say? Like, oh, I have this bean pod of friends, or like what? How do you describe us? Do you say nice things about us, or?
I do. I have nothing but the nicest thing to say about my viewers.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. No, I never trash talk my viewers. I feel like that wouldn't make sense. Like my viewers are the people I appreciate the most because they're actually supporting me in my career. So yeah. And no, I usually tell people that I stream music and baking, and sometimes there's bagels involved
Hmm.
in one form or another.
So you're still a bagel fan. Hence, we are here at the bagel shop where
Yeah,
we.
I still have, the bagel costume in my closet, just waiting to be used for
Growing
whatever
mold.
reason.
Waiting for you to eat it. Mm.
Hopefully not. Maybe I'll have to pop it in the fridge. I don't know if that'll reverse the mold. Probably not, but
No. You might have
It's
to
great.
bake a new one. You might have to like put together a new costume. I think it's
yeah,
probably
you're right.
gotcha.
It's probably gone at this point.
Mhm. So since you said you're in a friend's studio, are you going to be recording today?
Yeah, I'm working on Oh, how did I not mention this? Because when you asked me about what music I'm doing, I'm working on my single, actually.
Really?
Yeah, and right now we're in kind of the end of the producing stages,
Mhm.
and the last bit of vocals, the last bit of production, and I'm hoping to release this one in like June. I was actually hoping to release it in May, but that didn't happen. So we'll see if June's the right time. Yeah, I'm releasing a single called Manual Expression. So that's being done here, as well as partly in my studio at home.
Sweet. All right. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I always look forward to your new music, so it's gonna be a treat to see you release something.
I'm really excited to release this one.
Yeah.
It's gonna be better than my last ones for sure. Yeah, I'm excited.
So do you see your previous work as like juvenile in any way, like or do you appreciate it like, oh, this is, a build up to this? Are you one of those artists that's kind of critical on
Yeah.
that, or?
I mean, I appreciate it as a build up, but
Mhm.
I also see its weaknesses. And, I see my own flaws in there. And I see myself in the past being kind of younger and not really knowing what style I'm going for and just exploring, which is great, which is fantastic. But my style has changed and my genre is changing. So I'm even like manual expression is not even in the genre that I'm writing right now either.
Hmm.
So I'm releasing one last kind of synth poppy song before I really go into the whimsical folk pop genre that I've been writing in for like the past few months or so.
Whimsical folk pop, you say?
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say like cryptic dark, like 21 Pilots style. Like, interesting. So, are you gonna like jump genres? Do you want to experiment? Is that like the goal of your next album? You want to kind of experiment with different genres, or do you want to kind of stay with the theme?
Yeah. I think I want to stay with a theme that evolves, right? That changes over time. So my EP, which is going to be called The Fool, is going to be very, very whimsical folk pop, kind of Frenchy, kind of ballet inspired, very fantasy, right? And then the next album, which is going to be called Oppositions Aligned, it's still going to have some of that whimsical stuff, still going to have some fantasy sounds, some sparkly sounds, but it's going to have more beats, it's going to have more upbeat songs, it's going to have like a Spanish song as well, so not language, like musically, some like Spanish rhythms. So yeah, it's always evolving, I think.
That's awesome. So you're gonna go from your old sound to like a more experimental, whimsical, as you say. So
Yeah.
will there be any like interquel cinematic pieces in between songs, like where you're gonna say a monologue or something and then go into the next song like that? Have you thought about doing that, or is that in the works?
That's definitely in the works. I've been writing like musical transitions for the pieces, mostly to like do live. I don't know if they'll get, they'll fall into the album, but that would be kind of cool. I always love listening to albums that have transitions. But yeah, we'll see.
Because like improv pieces usually end up being like can evolve from like real songs to like like what's that word, like a prelude or interlude type song in an
like
album.
An interlude. Yeah.
You're a very experimental person, like improvisational type gal. So
Yeah, totally.
you want to incorporate so many different things on stage. Like you're probably one of the most creative people I've seen do stuff on stage with. Like you're not just sitting there doing one instrument. Like that's like I would love to see you like just like go just have like a acting, what would you call it, like a not a monologue, but like a one lady show, you know, like
yeah, totally.
where
You know what would be really cool?
what's that?
To do what Melanie Martinez does when she releases when she's released in her past albums.
Mhm.
She releases a movie, right?
Oh.
That has like a story and she acts in it, but it also goes through all her songs in the album. That would be really cool.
Yeah, like kind of like Michael Jackson. He used to do a lot of like
did he? Yeah.
his music videos were all movies basically, like very
Oh
cinematic.
yeah, totally.
Like a very cinematic. Lady Gaga does that too. I noticed
Yeah.
a lot of really big artists do it. I think Ariana Grande did that a little bit. Like
Totally.
that would be super cool if you our very own Michael Jackson and Melanie Martinez.
I love it.
Like
Yeah.
that is so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the way she does it too because she has such a fantastical style and uses a lot of pastel colors and like big skirts. And like I love that I can just watch her album as a movie, as like an hour movie, just like it's awesome. Yeah.
I remember like
It involves acting. Oh, Daft Punk, yeah.
Yeah, Daft Punk had a Interstellar 555, like the whole anime Osamu Tezuka like anime style.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome if you did a
Fantastic.
whole album, like visual album, like kind of.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Daft
That would be so
Punk-y.
much fun.
Is that somewhere down the line would you want to do, or would you want to actually be
A
in
visual
it?
album.
Like,
I could do both, honestly. One where I'm in it, one where I'm not in it.
you see, sky's the limit. So for you, because there's so much you can do, and so
Yeah, exactly.
I have a question about your hair real quick, which by the way, it looks amazing. Is the pink like part of a character on stage persona that you have, or is that just your normal color right now that you really wanted to go magical girl, Princess Tutu style? Like,
Yeah, honestly, I love the pink. I feel so happy when my hair is pink. So I'm not really I didn't really design a character for it. That was just kind of me being like, I need to have pink hair right about now. So I just kind of went with that.
kind of going back to your live performance, your time as live performance. Do you have any like funny stories? Has anything happened late at all that's worth mentioning that was funny or kind of like a challenge for you?
That's a great question. Cause I have such a terrible memory. Ooh, let me think. There was one gig that I did that, cause like usually when I go up on stage, I don't have a background, I don't have lights, it's just me and the keyboard. But this one place that I played at had like a whole background set up already, and it had lights, and it was hitting my hair, so it made me kind of look like a glowing fairy, in like the videos. So that was really like a really fun coincidence that happened, I think. Yeah.
So no like heckling from the audience, no like everyone's been really nice to you, hopefully.
Everyone's been super nice. People tend to call me mesmerizing. So, or like that I hypnotize them or something. So I really appreciate those compliments, because that's kind of what I'm going for with the whimsical folk pop. But if they're kind of in a trance, they're just, they're just kind of wiggling in the audience.
Wiggling.
I
So
don't know.
you're trying to turn people into beans by hypnotizing them, by making them
Precisely.
mesmerize.
Yeah,
Well-
exactly. That's the goal.
I think that's kind of what you do with us on stream. We're all just so mesmerized by your performance, your voice, your persona, your vibe, that we become beans. Like we're just sitting there like, we love Maria or stuff like that, right? Like that's
Yeah,
what you're doing.
totally.
So it's working. So it's working outside of Twitch. That's awesome. Look at you.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
But yes, definitely mesmerizing because like your voice is just so angelic and melodic, and you hit those notes just so cleanly, which not everyone can do. And you just seem so comfortable up there when a lot of musicians. Do you ever get nervous? Like, do you ever have like any pre-performance ritual or anything to get you ready up there? Or
I definitely get nervous for sure. I feel like I don't really have rituals. I just tell myself, "Don't be nervous. You're fine. Everything's fine." Until I like get up there and I just do it, and then I forget that I was nervous. Like 5 minutes into the performance, and I just get into it. So.
you do any vocal exercises in the bathroom while you're doing your hair and makeup?
Well, that's always a good thing to do. But usually I do vocal exercises in the car. That way, because I'm too like scared of people and like making noises in public. So instead of doing it in the bathroom, I just do it in a closed space in my car. I just go da 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 until my voice is ready.
There you go. See, you have your own little green room there in your car. I think that's kind of
Exactly.
the safe space. That's
Yeah.
cool. Eventually, you'll have your own green room and your own wardrobe and
Exactly. Yeah.
entourage, charter planes. You're gonna hit a big girl. I really believe in you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
What is next for Maria the Bean? I know you said you have an EP coming out, an album. You're gonna be
Single
rich.
as well.
Video
I'm gonna
game
be
streams.
So rich from streaming Cookie Run and busking.
Mhm.
Yeah, actually I'm doing a residency in August, a music residency, so hopefully that will push my career forward a little bit. And I'm signing up for a few things, some incubator things and some songwriting things. Yeah, like music incubators where they like take you in and they like give you workshops and they like give you performances and like push you and teach you about marketing. So those things are super useful, and they like grow artists. So I'm doing a bunch of things to grow as an artist, which is very exciting. I've got a lot of work ahead of me, but I'm excited for it. So yeah, that's kind of what's next for me.
That's awesome. Wow. So you're gonna start attending like seminars that help, like workshops that can
there's
improve
like programs that include all that stuff. Yeah.
like marketing, writing, like anything. That's awesome. I noticed a lot of musician friends, streamers that are taking a break are doing that. That's awesome that you're doing that too. You're not just, I mean, you could do it on your own, but it's awesome that you're taking the initiative. See that that just makes me happy hearing that you're doing all that. That is so cool. That I thought you meant like they're gonna put you in an incubator and just make you write stuff. Like, wait, what? Are you gonna become a ghostwriter for these singers? Like, what?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
No, not quite, but yeah.
Cool. So, will we see you stream again anytime in the near future?
I hope so. I hope so.
Because
Yeah.
we miss you, Maria. We
Yeah,
love you.
I
We miss
streaming
you.
Too.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Was that?
I miss streaming too. I miss the people more than the thing itself. Yeah.
True that. There's always Discord, so don't be a stranger. And
That's true. That's true.
I always try to kind of keep up with what you're doing, whenever you post a story and check in on you and say hello. Hey, Maria, how you been? I was listening to the Muse earlier. It's been stuck in, every time I hear that song, it gets stuck in my head for like a week.
Aw, that's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. Guys, please check out Maria on all of her social media platforms. I'm going to post that in the chat. So I want to thank you again, Maria, for coming back to the lounge, for helping us.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. We're ushering in a brand new season. We'll be having some more returning guests, as well as some brand new guests as well. We're going to be traveling amongst the stars here more with different genres. We've had many different amazing guests, but I just had to have Maria back on. So please, everybody, give it up for Maria. Please give it up for
Yay.
Maria. I said linguistics.